Even when the Eagles don't play, they still win. And yesterday was a perfect example of that. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and welcome to Game Day for the Philadelphia Eagles as they look to go 9-0 and continue to be undisputed, undefeated, best team in the National Football League. And I don't know about you guys, but tonight can't come soon enough. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You don't want to miss it. We will be live back streaming the Eagles tonight. Cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Man, I don't know where to start because yesterday so many different things happened. And a lot of it really was good for the Eagles. A lot of it were like pieces that are setting up things that are just going to be absolutely perfect for the Eagles. And you got to love it, okay? Before we talk about yesterday, I do got to say this. There was some breaking news today in regards to the Commanders. What a stupid name, stupid logo, stupid owner. But there was some news. Chase Young will not be activated, meaning he's not playing tonight. The Eagles will not have to see him. I don't know how big of a deal it is. Washington still has a very, very good defensive line, and that's really, to me, the strength of their team. So it's going to be interesting to see if Hurts' legs really give them problems. Mobile quarterbacks have not had a lot of yards against Washington in the past, so we may see Hurts rely more on his arm. But the great thing about Jalen Hurts, truthfully, the great thing about him, he can do it all. He can throw it, he can run it, and that's why, in my opinion, you got to put him up there for MVP right now. Also, you have to say he is, without question, without doubt, the best quarterback in the division. I think it's, you got to say it. At this point, after what we saw from Dak Prescott last night and the Dallas Cowboys, there is no doubt in my mind that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the division. And you want to say, well, he's got more weapons and he's got this, he's got that. That's all part of it. But right now, Jalen Hurts is playing better than any other quarterback in the division. That's why the Eagles are 8-0, about to be 9-0. And I don't know, man. You know, shout out to all you guys that were with me for the doubleheader we streamed yesterday. Pause. But you know, it was very interesting games. The first game, and the first thing I want to talk about is the New Orleans Saints. A lot of people expected the New Orleans Saints to go into Pittsburgh and win, but that didn't happen. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers, by beating the New Orleans Saints, the Saints, they go from having the 6th overall pick to the number 4 overall pick. So right now, currently, they have the 4th overall pick, okay? And I see that the Panthers are actually ahead of them, I think, at 3, which I don't understand because the Panthers beat them head-to-head. It's got to be some sort of tiebreaker. But if you look at you know, the draft order, all these teams are in striking distance of winning one game and jumping the New Orleans Saints. This draft pick, legitimately, could go up to number 1. It has that potential. Now, are they that bad? I don't know. But what happens when you keep losing and it starts piling on and then guys get hurt? Things can snowball out of control. The Saints have to play the Rams this week. I think they're in New Orleans. Now, the Rams aren't that good, but the Rams should still be able to win, in my opinion, and beat the New Orleans Saints. The following week, they got to go play the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. They're not winning that game. So the Saints are going to keep losing. The Saints are going to keep losing, and I feel really good about the potential of a top 5 pick. Really good about it. I feel like 90% sure that we'll get at least a top 10 pick at worst. Okay? So I wonder, has there ever been a team that has won a Super Bowl or gone to a Super Bowl and then turn around in the draft and then have a top 5 pick? Has that ever happened before? I'm dying to know because I don't know. But The New Orleans Saints pick is now top 4. Now, we can't totally relax because you remember last year with Miami, started 1-7. It was like the second overall pick at one point, and then they go on like a 7-game winning streak. So we have to worry about that, but I don't just think the Saints are built like that. I really don't. Fourth overall pick right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a giant win by the Steelers yesterday to help the Eagles out, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And then I streamed the afternoon game, Cowboys Packers. Now I said going into this game, if the Packers were ever going to show life on this season, if they were ever going to have any chance to win this season, they would have to beat the Dallas Cowboys. This is it. This is their season right here. So they came in and they were desperate. They were desperate. And the one thing that I could say early on in that game that you noticed was both offenses stink. They stink. Okay? They try to use a lot of misdirection, a lot of motions, a lot of doing all sorts of different things because they got to hide the fact that they're not explosive. The Dallas Cowboys are not very explosive offense. They're not. You look at Gallup, he's still hurt, coming back from an injury. No explosion, no separation. He is not the big play guy that he was. Zeke, of course, is out, and Dak don't look good. Dak don't look good. 2 interceptions. One of them was in the end zone. Horrible passes. Dak Prescott don't look good. It's interesting to me because I turned Mark Holmes on for a few minutes after Dallas lost and I got done the stream. It's interesting to me that it's like, oh, it wasn't Dak's fault. Dak didn't deserve any of that. Dak didn't do this. Dak didn't do that. If Dak was in Philly, they'd be killing him. Fact of the matter is, Dak wasn't good. He's not the only reason they lost because they were still up 28-14. They were up 14. Okay, they were literally up 14 points. Okay, and then they lost. So you can't blame it all on Dak, but he wasn't good. Okay, I'll just say Dak Prescott was not good last night. However, they're still up 14 points in the fourth quarter. What happened? Well, I can tell you what happened. Okay, Thanksgiving came early. Usually every year, once Thanksgiving starts, another holiday emerges. And that holiday is called Cowboys Choke Season. Okay? That's what it's called. Cowboys Choke Season. And yesterday, as I forgot who said it in my chat, it was a discount double moonwalk check yesterday. Because Aaron Rodgers, the Dragon Slayer, always beats the Cowboys, found a way to get it done. Cowboys choked. They choked away a 14-point lead in fourth quarter. Cowboys choke season has come early. It's upon us. Now, here's the great thing with the Cowboys losing, okay? The Cowboys next week have to go play the Minnesota Vikings. They have to go to Minnesota, play the Vikings, who are coming off a great win versus Buffalo. I was rooting for Buffalo. They didn't get it done. Now, in some ways, you're like, do I vote for Dallas? Do I root for Minnesota? Because Minnesota's right on our necks. They're trailing us, and it would be nice to have a little wiggle room. However, I think you have to root for Minnesota next week. So this is why I would go for Minnesota to beat Dallas, okay? Even though they'll still be at our next really only 1.5 games back. If Dallas loses to Minnesota, okay, their following game is Thanksgiving Day versus the Giants. That means Dallas would be 6-4, and they would have lost 2 games in a row. The Giants play the Detroit Lions, okay? So they're probably going to win that game because it's at home. So the Giants would then be 8-2 going into Thanksgiving. If the Giants lose to the Cowboys, which I think they would, especially if Dallas is coming off 2 losses, all of a sudden the Giants would be 8-3, the Cowboys would be 7-4, and the Eagles would be 10-0. So all of a sudden you have a 3-game lead when you still have to play the Cowboys one time and you play the Giants twice, meaning if the Giants somehow, some way, which I don't think is possible, but if somehow they were to sweep you, you would still have a 1-game lead on them. So I think for those purposes and those reasons, everything is set up pretty nicely. I would say root for Minnesota to win, beat Dallas, then you root for Dallas on Thanksgiving, which I hate to do. I might not be able to do that, by the way. But you root for them, and then, hopefully these teams start to fall away from the Eagles. Now, I wanted Buffalo to win yesterday. I wanted Buffalo to win. Justin Jefferson, what a catch that was. Catch of the year. It's already done. That's the catch of the year. Unbelievable catch. But, Buffalo choked. They choked. You fumble the ball at the goal line. It was absolutely horrendous call, a horrendous fumble, and they gave that game to Minnesota. It would have been nice if Minnesota had 2 losses. That way we had a little bbit of breathing room. Hey, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The Eagles got to take care of their business tonight. And if they go out and they do that, they're 9-0. You get to 9-0. Then you have Indianapolis next week. Jeff Saturday, I think he won his first game, unbelievable. But he's gonna have a buzzsaw the following week when he got to play the Eagles. So one game at a time. Obviously, the way the NFC East is lining up with Dallas losing, it's a great thing. That was a upset. There's no way Green Bay should have beat them. Green Bay is not a good team. So it's Thanksgiving time almost. And Cowboys choke season is here early. Remember, I will be streaming tonight. I will be live. Look for that. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Now, you see, I got the Reggie White jersey on. Reggie White. Love him, my favorite player of all time. But the Eagles are 8-0 all year long, and that's because I've been wearing the Jerome Brown jersey. So we're going to put this one on the shelf. We're going to have the Jerome Brown jersey ready to go. Same hat, same everything, and this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see the Eagles play Washington tonight. Remember, we will be live streaming for it, so come look, come hang out with us. With that said, Denzel Washington out.